Hey, what's going on, guys? Ryan Moffat here. Thanks for coming and checking out today's vlog. Today, I want to talk about when bad things or hard things interfere with your pursuit of your sobriety. And I just want to start by letting you know that the unfortunate news that I can promise you, and I can promise you it because Jesus promises. He says, in this world, you will have trouble. Um, And so Jesus actually says bad things are going to happen, difficulties are going to come. You are going to have relational conflict. You are going to be misunderstood. You are going to have triggers and you're going to have some difficulties. But the end of that verse, Jesus also says, but take heart because I have overcome the world. And so when you're having that good momentum in your recovery process from whatever you're recovering from, whether it be food addiction, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, sex addiction. The first thing I want to tell you in this vlog is you are not going to be perfect in the recovery. And when you fall off the plan, whenever you go back into the addictive behavior, the temptation is going to be to want to pretend that you're doing just fine. And what I want to tell you is expect at some level failure. And in that process of expecting failure, you'll actually relieve a lot of the anxiety, because sometimes that anxiety is an incredible trigger to go downward quickly into the addictive patterns. So the first thing I want to tell you is just budget in that you're probably going to screw this thing up. Second thing I want to tell you that's been really incredibly helpful to me for some of my dysfunctional behavior, is really become self-aware. Become self-aware with those triggers. I know for me, some of the destructive behavior that has plagued me and I've allowed to get into my life really comes back to emotional wounds and difficulties that I have not resolved, or a relational conflict. And instead of moving towards some sort of something to medicate the pain, I want to invite you to become self-aware and actually embrace the pain. I read this quote from C.S. Lewis. I want to read it to you tonight. C.S. Lewis, the great late C.S. Lewis, said this. He says, to love is to be vulnerable. Love anything and your heart will be wrung and possibly broken. But if you want to make sure of keeping it intact, you must give it to no one, not even an animal. He says, wrap it carefully with hobbies and little luxuries, and avoid all entanglements. Lock it up safe in the casket or coffin of your selfishness. But in that casket, safe, dark, motionless, airless, it will change. It will not be broken. Rather, it will become unbreakable, impenetrable, irredeemable. To love is to be vulnerable. So much of the recovery process in your sobriety is about opening your heart to being vulnerable again. And so there's pain of the past. There's relational discord. There are things that have happened, a family relationship, a parent relationship, a child relationship, that probably has caused deep, deep pain. And instead of pretending that's not there, we actually are invited by God's word to move into the difficulty, because Jesus doesn't say life's going to be great. He doesn't say, hey, it's going to be awesome, have fun, you're going to be healthy, wealthy, everything's going to be taken care of. He doesn't promise any of that. But what he does promise is that in the difficulty, he will be there. He will carry you. The last thing I want to tell you guys is that if you're pursuing your sobriety and you're taking that seriously, I just want to encourage you to keep going. You're going to have struggles, you're going to have difficulties, but the way to freedom isn't to pretend that you're doing awesome. It's to embrace the fact that you're not. And so we're invited in God's word to partner with the work he wants to do to redeem humanity. And it starts with the work he wants to do to redeem you personally. And I pray that happens for you. So thanks for joining me today. Have a great day. See ya.